Reed swoops on the crown and massive basket.
3. You are kidding me.
And the fire burned brightest. Townsville are WNBL champions for the 4th time.
Round 12 of the Cygnett WNBL season tips off in the heart of Melbourne with a clash between two teams in the thick of the top 4 mix. And that's remarkable in itself. For a few weeks ago, Bendigo's finals hopes were hanging by a thread. But 3 wins from 4 games later, the Spirit are finishing with a rush. Today they face another tough challenge amid their frantic dash for that top 4, taking on the star-studded Southside Flyers. But Southside themselves aren't necessarily flying at the moment, losing 3 of their past 5 games. We'll find out if the Flyers can get back on track or if the Spirit can make a statement over the next 2 hours from MSAC on a Wednesday afternoon right here on 9 Now. Ben Waterworth with you, as is former Flyers and Boomers star player and coach Larissa Anderson. Larissa, welcome to a unique venue at a unique time, but we've still got the same high stakes.
Well, thank you. It's fantastic to be here. And, yeah, it's a bit unusual, isn't it? 3 o'clock in the afternoon of a work day.
Yes.
Out at MSAC. But great to be here and really looking forward to this contest.
Shout out to all those who are in the office at the moment, cheekily having 9 Now on their screen. And if you have been on your screen in the past 3 hours, you would have seen the news drop from Basketball Australia about the 12-player Opal squad that is Brazil-bound next month. So the Opals have 3 games coming up in which will help them qualify for Paris 2024. So this is very much hot off the press, Larissa. 12 players named, including the GOAT, Lauren Jackson, at the age of 42. What are some of the big names and storylines from your perspective?
Well, I think that's a pretty impressive squad there. Great to see the GOAT there in Lauren Jackson. But a really big shout out to Isabel Borlase and Jade Melbourne, who are making their senior national team debut, which is really exciting. But also great to see Steph Reed there and Sarah Blitzarves back in the lineup.
It certainly is good to see Steph Reed in there as well. One of the great point guards in the WNBL right now. So as I mentioned, big stakes today for both the Bendigo Spirit and the Flyers, but particularly for the Spirit at the moment. Both of these teams have played the 14 games. Southside sit third with an 8-6 record. Bendigo 6-8, but there's 4 teams in that cluster at the moment trying to compete for those bottom 2 spots in the top 4. And Bendigo, after winning 3 of their past 4 games, are right in the mix. But first, Larissa, let's have a look at how the Southside Flyers will line up ahead of today's game at the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre. And we were mentioning off air beforehand that they've just tweaked the starting 5 a little bit over the past couple of games.
Yeah, so they've brought Leilani Mitchell in with Nadia Poch back on the bench, not starting. So, look, it's only happened for the 1 game. They had a 6-point win over Sydney with that lineup. Yep. Notably, they did limit their rotations a lot in that game, so it'll be interesting to see what they do again today.
Poch, Luffridge, Ernst off the bench. Pretty handy names for the Southside Flyers. Speaking of handy names off the bench, Bendigo Spirit bat deep. The likes of Froling and Werung and Samuels are contributing so much, and they've also tweaked their starting 5 a little bit in recent times.
Yeah, so Werung is on moving to the bench with Kelly Wilson moving into the starting lineup now. She's such a veteran of the league, as is Leilani Mitchell. So both teams have gone with that experience in the starting lineup, and for the last game, it seems to have worked for them.
So that's how both teams will line up so far. So just moments away from tip-off here at the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre. Fans have trickled in over the past half an hour, and the stand's starting to fill up here at in Albert Park. So I suppose, Larissa, for Bendigo in particular, we know that they're starting to find some rhythm and some balance in their game over the past 4 matches. 1-3 of their past 4. They're in the thick of a mighty hard fixture at the moment. They've got to go to Perth on Saturday night after this game as well. How hard is it to come back from the position that they're in and make that run for the top 4?
Look, it is really tough. You always want to start the season a lot stronger than that. But having said that, they seem to be enjoying this little patch of all these games where they've gained a little bit of momentum. So, look, if you look at their last 3 games, they're averaging 85 points a game as opposed to the rest of the season, 75.8. Yeah. So they're almost 10 points up on their average in the last 3 games, as opposed to Flyers, who are averaging 10 points less than than their average, season average. So going by that, Bendigo would put themselves at a pretty good chance for today.
Yeah, last weekend, or last round, Bendigo recorded its 2 highest offensive games of the season. They put 96 points on the board against the Adelaide Lightning, then backed it up with 88 points against the UC Capitals. As part of their streak was a win against the Melbourne Boomers, but to get another scalp today against the Southside Flyers would be big for Coach Kennedy Keriyama and his side. We're underway here on a Wednesday, Arvo. Great to have your company wherever you're watching, secretly at the office or in the comfort of your own home. Cole lobs it in for Jackson, who draws contact and will immediately head to the line to shoot a couple of free throws.
No surprises there on the back of her last 2 games. They've gone to Lauren nice and early there in the key. Off to the line for 2.
She's been shooting so far this season 77% at the free throw line. Quite remarkable that she's feeling fitter than ever. And I say that more after that right Achilles rupture and the left foot fracture, you know, at the start of last year as well. How she has continued to plough on and hit the scoreboard and have an influence has been quite remarkable. And it's been rewarded with a spot in the 12-player Opal squad for Brazil. Our first look at Bendigo on offense.
Interesting to see the Flyers come out in a zone already off the back of a free throw.
Crocker with 5 to shoot. Now for Ali Wilson. Lovely pass in to the baseline for Kelly Wilson. Referees will confer and confirm that it was off the Flyers' hands. And it will be a baseline ball here for the Spirit. Southside hold a 5-game winning streak over Bendigo. And since the 2019-20 season, it's 10-2 in favour of Southside over Bendigo. Ali Wilson for Crocker. Puts it up for 3 and well off target. Kelsey Griffin with the first offensive rebound of the game. Crocker might have a look for 3. Instead, Griffin will. Just fumbled, though, on the catch. Goes to the outside. Ali Wilson. Crocker using up all their shot clock. Crocker can't hit it. The Flyers get away with one there. Jackson brings down the rebound. Really
good ball movement there, though, from Bendigo, and they had 3 good goes at it. Unfortunately, couldn't knock it down. Great transition basket there by Bet Cole.
She's driving hard to the line, and she will go to the line to shoot a couple in a leadership position this year. Bet Cole, her 6th season with the Southside Flyers, of course, 3 seasons with the AIS and 5 seasons with the Boomers as well. And I suppose a natural pick, Larissa, for the captaincy position as well. She feels like a natural leader out on the court.
Yeah, she's doing a really good job. This would be tough. She's got a lot of senior players above her in this team that she has to lead, and I'm sure she's doing a great job.
Turnover here, much to the surprise of the Bendigo Spirit, and Alicia Froling. He's coming off the bench. That's because Ruth Davis already has a couple of fouls to her name.
Yeah, that's not going to help Bendigo. They really need Ruth Davis out there with her height.
Froling has certainly had an impact off the bench. Jackson working her way into the key, misfiring on the deep 2. Griffin feeds it to Kelly Wilson. Kelly Wilson thought about cutting inside. Instead, they retreat to the outside. 10 to shoot here for the Spirit. Again, Southside making it tough for Bendigo early. Strong defensive start from Southside. Froling with the right hand, almost couldn't in the end. Russell strong off the glass. Southside looking good defensively early.
Yeah, they're strangling Bendigo on their offense at the moment, finding it hard to get in the key.
And then Jackson again earns another trip to the free throw line, and the Bendigo bigs in foul trouble early.
Yeah, look, they're playing behind the post or getting caught behind the post, and that's 3 early fouls on their bigs, which, as you can see from the action, they're not happy. But Flyers doing a great job targeting that inside play there to Jackson, and so far it's working for them.
28 points in Southside's last game against the Sydney Flames, won a 10 of 14 from the field, the greatest of all time. Gives the Flyers an early 6-zip advantage. Only 2.5 minutes played. And the sloppy pass means it's a turnover.
Uncharacteristic there by Kelly Wilson too. So this press has just rattled them a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what it's designed to do too, Ben.
You see an early timeout from Kennedy Kiriyama. Manny Rocci driving hard inside. Right hand finish didn't go. Can Bendigo find their groove here on offense? Not with that. The quick hands of Manny Rocci on display. Cole, Leilani Mitchell. The Flyers are on.
Great start by the Flyers. Another transition basket. Early timeout here to Bendigo.
And a much needed timeout at that. Flyers with an 8-zip start. This timeout brought to you by Cygnett, Australia's #1 digital accessories brand. Cygnett continues to power the WNBL. Australian owned and designed. Cygnett is available at JB Hi-Fi, Officeworks and other leading retailers. For more information, visit cygnett.com. Impressive start, Larissa, from the Southside Flyers, and giving coach Kennedy Kiriyama plenty to think about early stages.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to address their offense against the zone and the press in this timeout. They're just not executing. They're all standing around the three-point line. They're just finding it really hard to penetrate the key at the moment and get the movement that they normally get.
A little bit different compared to last week, certainly against the Adelaide Lightning, where they really did flow on offense brilliantly, and they had their 2 highest scoring games of the season so far against firstly Adelaide and then the UC Capitals.
We'll see Abby Werung enter the game now, so hopefully she can give them a little bit of a punch and get on the scoreboard.
She was brilliant last week, certainly against the Adelaide Lightning. Abby Werung, she had the 18 points, including 4 of 6 from three-point land. She almost lost control, regains it in the end. 8 to shoot here. Kelsey Griffin goes to work and goes herself and can't get it to go. Everything going Southside's way in the opening minutes at MSAC.
It sure is.
Good crowd in attendance. School holiday, family-friendly time. Cole works away inside, then outside to Mitchell. Too early, nothing but nets from Leilani Mitchell.
Great penetration and kick there by Bet Cole to create. I mean, Leilani Mitchell's very reliable from the three-point line.
Bendigo rattled early stages. Werung, stolen by Mitchell. Returning to the starting 5 and showing why. Jackson!
Massive
oh my
basket.
word.
A huge basket.
Hectic start for the Southside Flyers. Kelly Wilson drives aggressively towards the rack. Beck Cole called for the foul, and finally Bendigo can have a good clean look at the rim for the first time.
And for those that can see on the screen, it's actually 14-0 at the moment to the Flyers. An absolutely fantastic start by them, and hopefully Kelly Wilson can get Bendigo on the board here from the free throw line.
Jackson with 7 points, Mitchell with 5. Kelly Wilson breaks the 14-0 run. Been at the line a little bit more in recent weeks, Kelly Wilson. She's now with those 2 free throws, 13 of 15 from the charity stripes so far this season.
Very reliable.
Very selfless player. But probably needed that just to try and give the Spirit a little bit of momentum, although Rocci's feeling it. The Flyers are feeling it.
This is really dangerous. When Flyers are feeling up like this, the hoop becomes like a hula hoop for them.
Oh, beautiful pass inside from Wilson. Unfortunately, Froling had it stolen away. Rocci pulls up for the mid-range too. (19-2) lead for Southside. Spirit stunned. spirit has been sucked out of them early stages. Griffin pops up the three, well short and out of bounds.
Bendigo just need to chip away here, though. The Flyers have shown a few times through the season that they've had great starts and they just haven't quite maintained it throughout the game. So if Bendigo can just keep their cool, but they've got to focus on stopping the ball. Flyers are running on them. They've got to slow that ball down.
Both ends of the floor, Southside well on top. Rochi, what a pass.
Yeah, really good mid-pick and roll there by Mercedes Russell and Rochi.
Not even, or just over halfway through the first quarter, Flyers already have a 19-point advantage. Werung aggressive inside, but not a lot of love on the outside. Froling steps in and loses control. Referees will confer. Might be, in fact, some contact in there as well. So Alicia Froling will be heading to the charity stripe.
You can just see here Maddie Rochi running across the double team. They're just being a lot more aggressive defensively so far. And look, that was a close one too. That would have been really close to 3 seconds in the key.
Yeah. So Alicia Froling at the line, 65% free throw shooter, but her free throw shooting has been improving over the past couple of seasons, becoming a now natural left-hander.
Great to see Potch enter into the game for the Flyers now as well. If anyone can keep their running game going, it's her.
So Bendigo's 4 points, all coming from the charity stripe. Leilani Mitchell for Jackson. Too easy.
Move. I think she surprised herself then how open she was.
Jackson hoping for a call, none forthcoming. She has made an imposing start to this game. Now will take a seat on the bench. The side up by 17 points. Samuels has been a real microwave off the bench for the Spirit. Wilson of the alley variety misfires. Froling thought it was off Ernst's hands. I think Ernst knows she may have got away with one there. The Flyers will take the inbounds pass.
When things are going your way, they just go your way. But again, Bendigo really need to just, again, peg away at this, one possession at a time. With things like that, great deflection by Abby Werung.
One of the best defensive players in the league, Abby Werung. Rochi keeps control.
Great
what a
job.
pass. They're putting on a show at both ends of the floor early, the Southside Flyers. Potch hits the scoreboard for the first time. And then Russell picks it. An early demolition. Mitchell goes to work. No call against Werung. No points for Potch, but a rebound for Ernst.
Great.
Potch just fumbled at the wrong time, but still 8 seconds here for Southside. Rochi!
This will hurt.
All net, but just
the wrong kind of switch,
didn't go in. Massive danger signs for Bendigo. Crowd finding their voice. There it is. Probably for the first time today, a bit of a lapse on defence from Southside, and the Spirit pounce. That's the key, as Larissa Anderson mentioned, just to hang in there and take those rare opportunities.
You can just see how patient the Flyers are being on their offense, which we haven't seen the last couple of games, and again inside. Really patient. That was a great play by Flyers.
Ernst hits the two. One at the and one, none forthcoming. Still the Flyers with a 25-6 lead. McGoldrick on the floor. Pass for the cutting Ali Wilson. Inaccurate and out of bounds.
It's really hard when you give a team this sort of lead. You can see that's a really kind of thread the needle type of pass. They just need to stick with high percentage plays here. There is a long time to go in this game.
Still 2 minutes left in this first quarter. Dickey on the floor for Southside. Almost picked there by Ali Wilson. Better defensive set here from Bendigo. Ernst puts up the free, but somehow drains it.
I was just about to say what a great matchup Samuels and Ernst is, and that Samuels was doing a great job sticking with her. You cannot give Carly Ernst an inch.
Epic start for Southside. Block! Dickey and Ernst, excellent on defence. Wonderful spin. Didn't quite drop, though, for Naggio Poch. And a rare miss. They are shooting at an excellent clip, 64% the Southside Flyers in this term. But Froling gets one against the flow. Count the points, and she'll head to the line for an extra.
So both Bendigo's baskets, high-quality baskets, have come off that mid-pick and roll. So they possibly need to look at this a little bit more. That's a great pass by Ellie Wilson. Great finish by Froling.
Ellie Wilson in excellent form, playing in the point position. 5 assists per game this season, Ellie Wilson. As Beck Cole steps back in for the Southside Flyers. Alicia Froling completes the three-point play. She has 7 of Bendigo's 9 points. The other 2 points coming from 2 Kelly Wilson free throws. Bendigo going at 20% from the field compared to Southside 60. Ernst thought about the step back 3. Cole goes to work, drives into the lane. It really is going all Southside's way.
It really is. I mentioned before that the basket is looking like a hula hoop to these girls at the moment, so Bendigo need to really up their defensive pressure.
Froling, sort of half shooting, half passing, kicked it out for Crocker. She misfired. Rochi for Jackson, back on the floor. Can't get that one to go. A quick release from Lauren Jackson, falling short. 7-second differential
Great
here.
running the floor.
Alicia Froling keeping her team in this game almost single-handedly at the moment.
That is exactly what they need to do off a stop, is run. Flyers are a bit older than the Spirit in a lot of positions. They need to try and run them off their feet more.
Just the 2 scorers for Bendigo. Alicia Froling has 9 of Bendigo's 11 points. Final possession here with Southside. Dickey, deep 2, falling short. But that is a mightily impressive opening stanza from the Southside Flyers. 30 points to 11. Southside lead the Bendigo Spirit at quarter time.
Use that momentum and power you've created to explode out on your first dribble. Okay, we've got 2 more. 1.
Sometimes as women, we look for perfection as opposed to execution.
The work ethic is important when the players are 40 years younger than you.
Cheers.
Welcome back to MSAC, a Wednesday afternoon game in the heart of Melbourne, and the Southside Flyers have made an incredible first quarter statement. A 30-11 opening stanza from Cheryl Chambers' side. They went at 56% from the field, whereas Bendigo went at 25. Larissa Anderson at both ends of the floor. Southside were dominant.
They sure were. I mean, both ends. So they came out really aggressively offensively, but probably even more aggressively defensively. I really like the mix-up in the defense at the moment, going from whether it be a score or a free throw. They went into that zone, which really kind of put Bendigo on the back foot. Bendigo, they started to get a nice few baskets at the end, but Froling has 9 of their 11.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking they need a few more people to step up.
That would be handy. Whereas for the Southside Flyers, all 5 starting 5 have points, and Ernst and Potch already have points as well. But there is Carly Samuels making it 3 individual scorers for Bendigo.
That was a really nice first set, and I'm sure that makes them all breathe a big sigh of relief from the bench.
Perfect start to the second term for the Spirit. Griffin.
Oh, nice job
that's
there.
excellent from Crocker. Griffin knocked it away. Crocker threw it back onto Jackson and it went out of bounds.
I would really like to see Bendigo try and fight for that half to three-quarter front in the post. Flyers have a clear focus to get it in there, and it's just too easy at the moment.
Samuels feeding Griffin. Can they chip away at this deficit over this quarter? Samuels passes inside. Griffin for Ali Wilson.
Great ball
for
movement.
Crocker.
That deserves a basket.
Good look.
Yeah, that was a really good look. Eventually those will drop. They've got to keep taking them.
Dickey loves the mid-range too. That's why. Great execution from the import.
You can see Dickey's getting just more and more comfortable every week in the league. Most of our imports do take a few weeks to settle in. You can see she's clearly very, very athletic, and I really enjoy watching her play.
Jackson with a cheeky block to send it back out of bounds. Bendigo still with the Spalding. 14 on the shot clock for Bendigo to work with. Ali Wilson thought about pulling the trigger, instead drove hard inside. Left-hand attempt didn't drop.
I'm glad they went back to Ali Wilson, though. Flyers switched then, and she had Mercedes Russell on her, so I think that was a really smart play by Ali Wilson. And
Cole.
Oh, dear.
And then Samuels arrived late to spoil the party. Cole seemed destined for 2 there. Well played, Casey Samuels. Ali Wilson has looked threatening at the offensive end of the floor, as is Froling. For Samuels, quick
release.
release.
A quick release.
In and out of the hoop. Still that 19-point deficit in favour of the Southside Flyers. Bendigo coming in this game with plenty of momentum. Southside, not so much, but they are hot. Jasmine Dickey with another field goal at the start of this second quarter.
When the Flyers are feeling up like this and everyone's contributing, this could be a really long night for the Spirit.
Griffin can't hit the 3. Jackson strong. Great box out, but the pass was inaccurate. And Ali Wilson and Crocker and then eventually Alicia Froling work it all out. And the 3-point play opportunity coming up for Froling.
Alicia Froling, it's now 11 points for her. She's having a fantastic first half. They've got to keep going at her.
And makes it even more impressive considering Ruth Davis was subbed out of the game within the opening minutes with 2 fouls. But Froling, as she has done for a lot of the season, Larissa, has come on and made an immediate impact.
She has been really consistent. I did have a good chat to Kennedy Kariyama this morning just about how they're going. She was one that he very clearly mentioned. She has just been so consistent for them.
Missed the 3rd-point opportunity. Yeah, we did. But here is Mitchell for Ernst, for Cole, Russell.
Great pass.
He's down low, but Ernst wakes away inside and almost easily in the end, able to lay that in for 2.
That's something that Carly has really brought into her game. You say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but she's a shooter flat out, but putting it on the floor, that makes her really hard to guard.
Speaking of shooters flat out, there's Ali
They needed that.
Insufficient from beyond the perimeter, knocks it down. Can't afford to leave her free. But you can't afford to leave Carly Ernst free that close to the basket either.
My goodness, no, they really need, Bendigo need to work out how to slow their scoring down here.
They are looking like they're in for a big night, the Southside Flyers. It's a 39-18 advantage.
They're 40 points with 6 minutes 42 to go in the second quarter.
Scrapping on the floor there was Dickey and Samuels.
Oh dear.
A 3 in the key against Casey Samuels.
No one really moved to come and help Samuels then.
And this is where, from a Bendigo perspective, your on-court leaders are so important, Larissa.
Well, they're always important,
Yeah.
but what really stands out is what happens when the chips are down.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Bendigo have some really true leaders, so I've got no doubt they will not give up at any stage.
Mitchell for Russell. Mid-range two, doesn't drop. Davis back on the floor, got the rebound, and just able to get it to Samuels. Kelly Wilson. They don't come much more experienced than her. Game number 446 in the WNBL. Davis underneath the hoop. Couldn't get the reverse to go.
No, it was a nice move, though. Just couldn't quite finish it.
Mitchell, look away for Cole in the corner. Almost lucky to hit the board. Dickey athletically got the offensive rebound. Couldn't get the follow-up points. And Kelsey Griffin and Kelly Wilson work it out. And then Dickey is called for the foul.
For the sneaky little hand.
They've been relentless with the attempted sneaky hands, particularly in Bendigo Spirit's backcourt.
Well, I'm really impressed with the intention of the Flyers' defence today. They're being so much more active than what we've seen in the last couple of games.
Yes. Often their intensity is a bit of a barometer of how they perform on the scoreboard. Cole will be called for the foul. That'll be her second personal foul.
Cole just letting the ref know that she thought that was a little bit of acting or a bit of a flop.
She has 4 assists and 4 points. The captain. 4 assists well for Ali Wilson. Davis catches. Samuels in out of position when she caught that, but then works her way into a scoring position. She's deadly from deep.
It's just how quick her release is. It actually reminds me a bit of Sammy Wickham-esque.
Yes.
It's very quick. Hard to guard.
Cole trying to lob it in from the free throw area. That doesn't drop, so a stop opportunity here for the Spirit. Wilson for Davis.
Oh.
Almost wasn't expecting it.
No, you've got to throw that up in the air to Ruth Davis. Too big to make the big girl bend down there.
Ernst, quick release.
This would hurt.
Can't get that one to go. And then as she was attempting to rebound, that Cole drew the foul this time.
So whilst there's still 18 points, again, a couple of good baskets here, and all of a sudden the pressure's back on the Flyers. So Carly took an early shot there, even though you would forgive her for doing that, being a shooter, but they need to block out and come up with those stops. One and done.
Halfway through the second quarter. Bendigo hoping to make it 4 wins from 5 games, but they are seriously up against it today. Jackson back on the floor. Misfiring. Werung kicks up the tempo.
Great job there.
Griffin aggressively denied. Kelsey Griffin met fire with fire. Jackson at the other end falling short for 3. $18-point lead here for Cheryl Chambers' side. Werung in the corner. Has to put it up and falling well short in the end. Still had 9 seconds on the shot clock though. Mitchell, that's another quick release.
Yeah, both teams kind of just firing away at the moment. This is where Bendigo really could have made a difference and chipped away at this lead. They just need a bit more discipline and patience offensively here.
Can they capitalise? Ali Wilson lobbing it in. Pass wasn't good though. Wasn't to the advantage of Alicia Froling.
Well, it was just the wrong angle, or needed to recognise that Lauren was kind of hanging over her back, possibly a bounce pass or kicking it to the baseline to get it in there then. Right idea.
So a timeout is called here at Melbourne Sports Aquatic Centre, and this timeout is brought to you by CTM Sport. CTM Sport is here to transform your team's travel experience. Leave the hassle of off-court arrangements to CTM Sport, the experts in sports travel management. Get the winning edge at ctmsport.com.au. So if Bendigo's 21 points, 19 have come off the bench so far, 11 to Froling, a 3-pointer for Abby Werung, and Casey Samuels has 5 as well. We know that the depth of both of these two teams, but Kennedy Kerryama will want a bit more output. Larissa from his starting five at the moment.
Yeah, look, I think both coaches would probably be discussing patience offensively here. You could forgive the Flyers for firing away a little bit, given that they have been shooting so well, but their last few possessions, they haven't. So, and likewise, Bendigo can't afford to get into that game. They're 18 points down. They really need to be patient offensively. Possibly talking about mixing up their defense a little bit. They really need some transition baskets, and you're only going to get that off good stops.
I suppose we're talking about off air that Bendigo might even have a little bit of a speed advantage over the Southside Flyers at stages, and that might be something they try and make the most of their advantage. Look,
they definitely have a speed advantage over certain positions, but they're not able to use it at the moment because they're just not getting those stops.
Good defense here from Werrung. Kelly Wilson is called for the foul against good mate Leilani Mitchell. Those two have played against and with each other for a number of years.
But the pressure that Abby Werrung and Kelly Wilson were putting on them, that's much better. So hopefully they don't back off here. That's exactly what they need to do.
Rochi finds a way inside, but took one step too many.
Much better defense then.
Rochi argues her case, but
I haven't seen it yet. Any ref reverse their decision. I'd love to know that it's worth the effort, but I'll keep trying, and I'm sure players will keep trying.
Here's Ali Wilson. And McAndrew has just come onto the floor, but she's just off target there with that attempt. Jackson underneath the basket. And Russell arrives. If Jackson has... Oh! And there is McGoldrick in the end. Able to get the rejection and then the rebound. Well played, Ezra McGoldrick.
Some sneaky little hands came out of nowhere there.
And Kelly Wilson.
Great drive.
You don't see that a lot this season. Kelly Wilson taking on it herself, driving to the rack and hitting the layup.
She's renowned for it though, Ben. When they need a big basket, Kelly Wilson enters the game.
Such a selfless player. And then a miscommunication on offense from the Flyers.
So it'll be interesting here. If Bendigo can get a really good score here, it'll be interesting to see whether what Flyers' response is.
Cygnett WNBL action on a Wednesday afternoon. Southside and Bendigo. Bendigo just chipping away at this deficit in the second quarter, albeit very slowly. Alicia Froling, guarded by the Ghost, gets one on the Ghost.
And why wouldn't you keep going at Alicia Froling? She's just doing such a great job in there.
Game high 13 points for Alicia Froling.
Much better D off that flex cut there.
Rochi has to put up the three, falling well short. Another good defensive possession from Bendigo.
Really good stop and great block out.
Can they continue their momentum here? Ali Wilson, she goes inside.
Oh, she just can't make a basket yet, but they'll get another go at it.
She's 0 of 3 from the field so far, Ali Wilson, but does have the 4 dimes, 2 boards and 1 pick.
Hopefully they try to go to her here and she remains patient. It's really tough as a scorer if you just want that first basket.
Knowing Ali Wilson's form this year, gets 1 basket and the floodgates could open.
Oh,
that was interesting from Alicia Froling.
I actually think, they let a lot go in that play then.
I think
and a technical foul's been called from the bench.
Okay, so tech foul from the bench is called. So free throw coming up here for the Bendigo, for the Southside Flyers. Call against the Bendigo Spirit. Maddie Rochi gets the bonus point. So that unrealistic field goal attempt coupled with the tech, unideal timing for the Bendigo Spirit.
No, clearly they felt there was a fair bit of contact that was let go and they let the ref know about it.
Just over a minute remaining in the second quarter.
Good hands there.
Dickey steals it back, misses the baseline drive, but still fights
Somehow
on.
she comes up with it amongst 3 Bendigo players there. Great effort there by Dickey.
Didn't hit the rim, though, on the attempt, so a shot clock violation. And Bendigo get the ball back, but Jasmine Dickey's grit and determination on display there.
Yeah, that was just sheer hard work there and an effort. Love to see it.
Pretty handy to have a player of her calibre coming off the bench.
It sure is.
Ali
Nice
Wilson.
move.
Yeah, brilliant
Oh.
crossover. Kicks it out for Crocker. Now Ali Wilson goes again, hoping for the cut from Froling. Didn't come off. Southside was aware. And travel is called against Maddie Rocci.
I'm
She
starting
can't
to
believe
giggle
it.
because both teams are just getting so annoyed by every call here. Everyone needs to take a deep breath.
You can judge for yourselves.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good D then. And she walked with the ball.
McGoldrick falling short was a good look, though.
It was a good look.
7-second differential between the two clocks as we tick down towards half-time. Mitchell guarded by Kelly Wilson. Lobbing it in over the top for Russell, who catches and is fouled. Mercedes Russell, who hasn't had the biggest offensive influence on this game yet, which is pretty scary probably for Bendigo heading into the second half, will go to the line and shoot a couple.
It is a little scary, but I mean, when you have the spread of scorers that the Flyers have had so far, she hasn't really needed to. Having said that, Bendigo have really slowed the Flyers scoring down in this quarter, but unfortunately they just haven't been able to chip away at this lead a little bit more.
Averaging 63% from the free throw line this season. She's 1 of 2 there. And the Spirit can have the final say of the half. They've worked hard in this second quarter. 14 or 13-point
Great
differential
drive.
would look a lot better
Great
than
drive.
16. Kelly Wilson makes it 14. Second time she's shown some aggression and got the layup to go. And the Flyers' deficit has been cut to 14 at the half. Southside 41, Bendigo Spirit 27 at the major break. Ben Waterworth with you alongside former Boomers and Flyers player and coach Larissa Anderson. And Larissa, much better signs from the Spirit in that second half. Second quarter, rather.
Yeah, no, much better. I think Bendigo would be actually, not that you're ever happy being down, but considering their first quarter, you'd have to be pretty happy with only being down by 14 points at halftime.
Let's have a look at some of those second quarter highlights. And I suppose, Larissa, you've been calling it for a little bit more discipline on defence. And we know in the game of basketball, good defence often leads to better offence, and that was certainly the case for Bendigo in that quarter.
Yeah, I mean, on the back of some stops, they were able to run and get some space and get some nice baskets. I've mentioned a couple of times that their middle pick and rollers looked really good. Ali Wilson starting to you can see, has taken some great drives in that second quarter, but I think she's starting to second guess herself a little bit. So I'd like to see her come out a lot more confident in the third quarter. And Bendigo are renowned for their third quarters. So, but having said that, the Flyers don't mind the third quarter either. So it'll be interesting to see which team comes out stronger, because the Flyers really did start beautifully at the start of this game.
They had a 30-point-to-11 first quarter, the Southside Flyers. But in that second quarter, Bendigo 16, Southside just the 11. And that means we've got a 41-27 game at halftime. There are your halftime stats. The Southside Flyers were going at 60% that quarter time. That's been cut, as you can see, at halftime as well. The Spirit almost double the amount of turnovers as what the Southside Flyers have had. But as we have a look at the individual scorers, it's Froling leads all comers off the bench with 13, and Casey Samuels has the 5. But Carly Ernst had a very good second quarter for the Southside Flyers too, Larissa.
Oh, shit. Look, the scorers just keep coming for the Flyers.
Yeah.
You cannot rest at all. They just keep coming. And that's where the Flyers are so dangerous, is that they just have the depth that other teams possibly don't have. So Ernst a great second quarter there. Froling's just played a great first half.
We'll take a short break here from the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre, and after that we'll come back with the second half action. It's the Southside Flyers 41, leading the Spirit 27.
Women are powering forward and changing the game on and off the court. Together, Basketball Australia and the Australian Sports Commission are powering women in basketball. We are amplifying the voices, skills and spirit of women in the game. From the backboards to the boardrooms, we're breaking barriers, shattering stereotypes and empowering the next generation of female athletes and leaders. Get involved and together we can create a future where every girl's hoop dreams are within reach.
It's a game of strategy, nerve and unpredictability.
Todd Woodbridge pushes Australia's most addictive game show. Over the edge.
One counter for a shot at $40,000.
The more you risk.
Two counters, $20,000. I'll also throw in a holiday.
The more you win.
If you don't get that jackpot, you'll leave here with nothing.
New Tipping Point Australia starts Monday, Jan 29 on 9.
Watch Australia's future Olympians fly when they take on the world at the Winter Youth Olympics. Live and free on 9 Now. Live events, replays and highlights on a dedicated Olympic channel. The Winter Youth Olympic Games, Game 1 2024, Jan 19 on 9 Now.
Ford dealers have backed sport in communities for nearly 100 years. And now, from the Boomers and Opals to Aussie Hoops, your local Ford dealer is proud to support basketball. Because all dreams start somewhere.
More from 15 when I was like, I want to do this as a career. You know, I knew I would give my blood, sweat and tears, and I'm very driven. So I'm like, you're not surprised I got here, but also I worked hard, and believed in myself. But most of all, just like the friendships I've built along the way, that's something that's, to be honest, that almost takes over everything else. I think when people talk about your 250th, initially I'm like, I played 249 games and I played 251. Like, what's a big deal? And it's almost like I genuinely thought back to our interview that we did. It was like, you got to sit back and smell the roses. And I was like, you know, there was a time in my early 20s where I thought I was never going to play basketball again because surgeons are telling me, you know, this and that with my knee. And then you think about all the highs and lows and the good times and the bad times, and the fact I've been able to play at this level for so long. Like, it is a real big achievement. But to be honest, if I get a win tonight with my team, that's all I care about.
Hi, I'm Loz. I'm Izzy, and we're here with Leo and Anna with the Ford Aussie Hoops.
Who's your best shooter on the team?
This girl right here. It's probably Loz. Do you guys have a favourite spot on the court that you like to shoot from?
Right here.
Right in front? I like it.
Do you have any tips for shooting?
So make sure your feet are always facing the rim wherever you shoot it from, and then snap that wrist and hold your follow through. Do you want to have a go? Yeah, nice. Nice. Thanks for hanging out today, guys. Good job. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Leo.
Good job.
Good job, Anna.
For centuries, supernatural creatures have lived among us.
There are vampires, werewolves, doppelgangers, witches,
And even hybrids. Go!
There are friends,
Our enemies
the ones we love.
and the ones we've lost.
A lot of blood, a lot of partying.
And if you're gonna die, it might as well be epic.
Sink your teeth into the drama. The Vampire Diaries.
Here we go.
Stream every episode on 9 now.
You overheated the generator.
Nice nightgown. Away.
Well, that smile might make all the girls at the church social swoon, but it's not gonna work on me.
Well, I'm not gonna be polite. I'm not gonna show you where a fuse box is. Night.
This Manhattan Doctor's life is going south. Stream all episodes of Heart of Dixie on 9 now.
I've got a staff meeting to go to, and so do you. You elitist Harvard fascist missed the dean's list 2 semesters in a row, Yankee jackass.
Stream The West Wing
Feel better getting that off your chest there, CJ?
I'm a whole new woman.
on 9 now.
Women are powering forward and changing the game on and off the court. Together, Basketball Australia and the Australian Sports Commission are powering women in basketball. We are amplifying the voices, skills and spirit of women in the game. From the backboards to the boardrooms, we're breaking barriers, shattering stereotypes and empowering the next generation of female athletes and leaders. Get involved and together we can create a future where every girl's hoop dreams are within reach.
So the game really doesn't need to be difficult, and she's keeping it quite simple in terms of those high percentage baskets under the basket. And she loves to go left, which is always a little harder to defend. So
and like Ali Wilson as well, she looks like she's in the best fitness shape of her career as well, and she's thriving on the court this season.
I agree, and because she's such an agile player at 6'2", she's hard to guard. So whether you put a Jackson or a Mercedes Russell on her, she's going to be faster, or if you put a smaller player on her, then she's going to have that little bit of height. So she's a hard matchup for teams.
So both coaches addressing their respective sides, just minutes away from the half as well. What do you want to see, particularly from Bendigo, straight out of half-time as well? Because we know Southside, as you mentioned, strong third-quarter team as Bendigo, but there's a 14-point gap between the two sides at the moment.
Well, they have no choice but to come out and put that first half behind them, take a little bit of confidence from that second quarter and know that they've just got to back themselves here. You've got 3 starters who have not scored, and that's very unusual. So they've got to back themselves here, show their experience, and just absolutely leave it all out there and not let that get into their head. On the flip side, defensively really should be their focus. They know that the Flyers can pile on points. They showed that in the first quarter. They need to get stops and run on the Flyers and challenge them.
Quite a remarkable start by Southside. They scored the first 14 points of the game. And immediately, Bendigo are behind the 8 ball. Coincidentally, it's a 14-point differential between the two sides as we start this second half. Southside 41, Bendigo 27. Great to have you with us wherever you're watching. 9 now. Early foul called on Kelsey Griffin. That's her first personal foul of the game.
Interesting to see Carly Ernst starting for Lauren Jackson here in the second half. Hopefully Lauren's okay.
Lauren did play the 14.5 minutes in that opening half. Only averages around the 20 minutes per game. Lauren Jackson. 5 to shoot here for the Flyers. Mitchell for Russell, who can't float it in, but she gets the offensive rebound.
That really hurts there. They end up with the rebound there, but Ruth Davis really needs to focus on Mercedes Russell on the blocking out.
Because Griffin done all the boxing out there, but no one was there to.
It's the agile rule, Ben. It takes one player that doesn't box out, and that player is going to come up with the rebound.
5 to shoot here for Griffin. Lost control, the fast hands. The sneaky hands of Maddie Rocci on display. Mitchell lobs it in for Ernst. Back for Rocci. She will reassess from outside the perimeter. And then go herself for 3. Beautiful.
Gee, that is a confident shot to take, and it goes down. Great shot there by Rocci.
Missed out on the final 12-player squad for Brazil. Maddie Rocci certainly right in the mixing contention for Opals for recent years. Ali Wilson, a really good look for 3 there, but her shooting radar not on so far. She's 0 of 4 from the field. Cole pulls
Another
up.
confident shot to take. My goodness.
So 2 threes drop like that from the Flyers to start. At the other end, Wilson misses the good look 3, and the Flyers off to a flyer in this third quarter.
Well, you can see Bendigo are running back on transition, but not covering the three-point shooters. They're running back to the basket, and we teach juniors that a lot. You've got to know where the shooters are.
This timeout brought to you by Ford Aussie Hoops, which is the perfect introduction to the world of basketball for kids aged 5 to 10 years of age. So to register or to find a program near you, head to that website there, aussiehoops.basketball. So the Flyers with an epic start to this contest in the second half of 3-ball. Firstly to Maddie Rocci and then to Bet Cole. So you look at the starting 5 offensive output for the two sides. And it's over 30 points starting 5 for the Flyers have been able to put together. And just the 6 points for Bendigo. And Kelly Wilson has all of those 6 points.
Yeah, we really need the 3 starters for Bendigo to step up here. And it's not through lack of trying. They're just having what we call a bit of a shocker at the moment. But, I mean, Kelsey Griffin, Alex Wilson and Merrin Crocker have shown nothing but quality this season. So, long way to go in this game.
Griffin. Crocker. 0 of 4 from deep so far, Merrin Crocker. Feeds Davis. Now Ali Wilson running out of time here. Crocker has to put it up. She misfires, and Davis had it ripped away from her. 3 Flyers going for that board. A stop opportunity here for Southside. Rocci gets the pick from Russell. Back outside for Cole, and Wilson had the right idea.
She was there.
But Russell caught it and put it in for 2.
But again, that was really selfless from Bet Cole and high percentage play by the Flyers.
Just like that, they increase their lead. Crocker again, still going for that 3-ball. It's just not dropping for the import tonight.
I do love that she's remaining confident, but unfortunately, yeah, they're just not dropping yet.
Russell, Cole, she puts up the 3.
As opposed to Bet Cole, who just hit one from that spot. That's 2 in a row. We've got to, they've got to get the job done on Cole now.
The first 3 minutes almost personify how this game overall has panned out for the two sides. Some lovely 3 balls dropping for the Flyers. No luck for the Spirit, although they have been
nice pass.
Hard-earned look. That's a great pass from Kelly Wilson for Davis.
Again from that mid-pick and roll.
So Davis becomes the second member of the Bendigo starting 5 to hit the scoreboard. Russell, deep 2 drops. That ring now, again, looking like a hula hoop, Larissa.
Well, when Mercedes Russell takes that shot with confidence, you know they're feeling good.
Griffin.
Great drive there.
And it knocked away by Mercedes Russell. That's the aggression we love to see from KG23.
And I think that's a really smart play by Kelsey. She knows she's more agile, faster, than her defensive assignment there and needs to keep attacking as we see her subbed out here.
So Kelsey Griffin will take a seat. Alicia Froling. Casey Samuels also back on the floor. Kelly Wilson lobbing it in for Froling. Does she go left or right here? They ran out of time anyway.
They really are allowing a lot of body contact there. I don't blame Alicia Froling for being a little bit frustrated on that, but that's also the fun of the game. So her attitude now needs to be, okay, well, if that's how we're allowed to play, I'll give it back.
Yep.
And hopefully they don't call it.
No. Rochi missed Mitchell. So an opportunity for Bendigo from the middle of the court.
But great job with Bendigo getting up in the lanes there, so they don't just allow that easy cross-court pass. And it's those little things that will allow them to once again try and chip away at this lead.
It has ballooned out in this third quarter. Epic start to the third term from Southside Flyers. A 13-2 third quarter. And they are relentless on defence at the moment, personified there by Mercedes Russell.
Yeah, great job by Russell there. She obviously did the hard show on the mid-pick and roll and then sprinted back and got a great deflection.
Great athleticism from the American international. Crocker goes to the three ball.
There you go.
8th time lucky for Merrin Crocker.
That would feel so good. Good for her because she keeps putting them up. One was bound to drop.
1 of 8 from the field. Then Maddie Rochi at the other end. She misses. Cole gets the long rebound. Ernst, quick release.
Really quick release.
And then a long rebound for Casey Samuels. Spirit have 22 points to make up. Ernst might be called for the foul there. This time Alicia Froling does draw the foul.
I am just waiting for Carly Ernst and Alicia Froling to have... I just love that matchup. I'm just waiting.
Ernst has been around the WNBL for a number of years as well. A mum who's come back to the league and really thrived. Firstly at the Boomers and then with the Flyers. Great roles off the bench at both of those clubs in the last couple of seasons.
I had the pleasure of coaching Carly for 2 years, and she really is a pleasure to coach.
Samuels, a little flat off the hand and straight off the backboard, but Rochi lost control. Much to her surprise.
Always a bit of a giggle with the looks, yep.
On the bright side, Southside with a 54-32 lead halfway through this third quarter. Samuels.
Great skip pass there.
Didn't put up the three. Instead lobs it in for Froling.
There she is.
The block doctor comes from the baseline to knock it away.
Great job by Nadia Poch there.
Timing personified. Read the play superbly.
With 2 hands. Thank you very much.
Great little confidence booster for Poch.
Great pass.
And this time Froling again draws the contact and will head to the line to shoot 2.
That was smart play by Bendigo there, recognising the switch and the mismatch there.
So Alicia Froling, her 3rd season with the Bendigo Spirit, her 7th WNBL season. Last season averaged 11 points and 5 rebounds. This season, 13 points and 7 rebounds. We've been talking about her improvement right throughout this game so far. She's been incredible for the Spirit today. Unfortunately, no good from the charity stripe there. A jump ball is forced. It's going to be a ball here for the Southside Flyers. Correction, Bendigo. Possession arrow with them. Abby Werung back on the floor as well for Bendigo. She was so integral to their much improved defensive output in that second quarter. How good is that from Alicia Froling? That's the
Such
development of the player on display right there.
But it's just smart. We discussed before when Kelsey Griffin was trying to make that happen. That is an advantage that Bendigo have to have those agile bigs.
Cole.
She's feeling it.
Wide open for 3.
That's 3 for 3 in this third quarter for Cole. You've got to find her. Great shooting.
She's up to a team-high 13 points for the Southside Flyers. Werung from McGoldrick, not putting it up in Mercedes Russell face. Werung for Ali Wilson, has 3 to shoot. Again, strong, relentless defense from Southside. Only 1 second on the shot clock. Seen a lot of quick releases in this game so far. Someone's got to be speedy here for Bendigo.
So clearly something's going on here with Lou Brown hitting the floor and Lauren Jackson still not coming in.
Picked up Larissa. Brown into the game for the first time. Cole is playing with a fierce determination in this third quarter.
She really is, and at both ends too. You can see defensively she's really trying to get it done too.
Leading by example, Beck Cole. Mercedes Russell called for her second personal foul, third team foul on the Flyers in this quarter.
I like Abby Werung's intention there to really attack and try and make something happen on transition.
Here is Werung. Was hoping for Froling, but great defense there from Cole. Just had the body position on Froling. Forced the turnover. Strong screen from Russell. Now Cole puts up the mid-range too. And that will trickle out of bounds for a Bendigo ball.
Nadia Potch will be thinking, I was just standing there. It is the worst when you try and do the right thing and crash the offensive boards and the ball bounces straight over your head where you were. But love that she was getting after it.
Samuels runs into a wall.
Great D.
Bounces off the wall.
Better
hits
finish.
The 2. Too good from Casey Samuels, who continues her excellent season off the bench.
I know I said it to you off air, but she reminds me, a spitting image of Deanna Smith, for anyone who remembers that wonderful player and one of my beautiful friends. Eddie's like, and she's even got the red shoes.
Scoring so well this season. Brown inside for Russell, 2 to shoot. Russell gets the lucky roll. She's up to 9 points, Mercedes Russell, just like that. Samuels just drifted left late, and then Brown is called for the foul. And Ezra McGoldrick will head to the charity stripe. Just her second trip to the free throw line this season. New Zealand national team member since 2019, and was pretty integral at the 2023 Asia Cup campaign for the Kiwis. Also been in the NBL 1 in recent times, playing out at Casey, and a stint at the North Carolina State University.
Yeah, she's been giving them some really nice minutes. Very nice length.
Yes.
Good size guard.
All players at Bendigo with good length as well. We talk about Sophia Lacandro as well, and Tamilo has also just come into the setup in recent times.
We saw a sneaky little peek at the Bendigo bench there, and I just mentioned a moment ago Deanna Smith. She is one of their assistant coaches, and she's missing at the moment. So a big congratulations to the birth of Jackson Robert Black, their second child, which is why she's not on the Bendigo bench at the moment.
Fair excuse. Great news. So the Flyers in this third quarter just been able to balloon this lead out. It's a 61-38 advantage for the home team. It's a 20-11 third quarter. 30 points in the first, 11 in the second, and already 20 in the third.
Yeah, it's looking very similar to the first quarter at the moment, where they're all just firing.
Few better sights in the league than Leilani Mitchell in rhythm hitting a 3 like that. Beautiful to watch. She's 2 of 3 from deep. Casey Samuels can't get that one to go. Good rebound, Lou Brown.
Lou Brown is one of the best rebounders you will see. If anyone wants to watch how to get the best position under the basket, watch Lou Brown.
In the WNBL for a couple of seasons now. Froling thought she had all ball.
What makes you think that?
Yeah, it was quite a vociferous reaction from Alicia Froling.
Yeah,
the referee saw it differently.
But whenever you lower your arms down, you give yourself a good chance for it to be called.
Nadia Poch at the line, a 69% free throw shooter. Last season nominated for 6th Woman of the Year and Breakout Player of the Year. Opal squad at 18 years of age. What's remarkable, Larissa, as well, she really is a late bloomer. She only started playing this game at 12 years of age. Her development in 6-7 years is off the charts.
Hard to explain how exciting that young lady is. And again, I've got the pleasure of coaching her last season and again this season in the NBL 1.
Yep.
She's a pleasure. She's a sponge. She just wants to learn. But that natural athleticism is just, you just watch in awe. She's very pretty to watch. And certainly a massive talent coming up through the systems for Australia.
Very much so. Since the States are not too far away as well for Nadia Poch. Flies, meantime, in the bonus. So Ali Wilson at the charity stripe and can finally get her scoreboard tally underway with a couple of free throws. Bendigo not the greatest free throw team in the league, but Ali Wilson, their best at 72%. Meantime, it's a 26-point advantage for Southside as we tick into the final minute in this third quarter. Dickey back on the floor. Raising up, loves the mid-range too, and also loves an offensive rebound.
Great follow there.
Mitchell can't float it in. Samuels were waiting underneath. Here's that speed on transition. I don't think Abby Warring's going to take on Nadia Poch though. Great defensive positioning from Poch. Ali Wilson.
Great pass by Ali Wilson there.
And Davis will go to the line to shoot 2 with 13 seconds on the clock.
I actually think that was a really smart decision by Abby Waring. If you're not overly confident about that fast break, pull it out, set something up, get a good look, which they ended up getting. Hopefully Ruth Davis can knock these 2 free throws down.
She's a 43% free throw shooter, Ruth Davis. Game number 63 in the WNBL. Falling short, of course, the one season with Perth back in 2016-17 and then Adelaide in 2017-18. But to have her back in the league this season, misses both attempts. Samuels can't keep it inbound, so Southside can have the final say of what has been a pretty dominant third quarter for them.
These free throws, free throw misses really hurt.
Crowd letting Nadia Poch know all about how much time is left on the clock. Will she go solo? She lost control, puts up the prayer, doesn't get the lucky roll, but it does end an emphatic third quarter stanza from the Southside Flyers. Only led by 14 at halftime. That lead has ballooned out to 26 after a 25-13 lead, third quarter. Ben Waterworth with you alongside Larissa Anderson as we take a look at some of those third quarter highlights, which started with some big 3 balls from Southside's star guards.
Huge third quarter by Bet Cole, upping her scoring to 15 points. She was the big standout there, but really all of them chipped in. That was very, very similar to the first quarter, Ben.
Yeah, Bet Cole, 3 of 4 from three-point land. Maddie Rocci also hit a couple as well. Mercedes Russell getting a little bit busier at the offensive end of the floor. She's played a lot of minutes so far, Mercedes Russell. As we have a look at the stats so far, too much differential in terms of the rebounds, and not a massive differential in terms of the field goal percentage as well. But Bendigo, 15 turnovers to 9. I know Kennedy Kerryama won't be too pleased with that, Larissa.
No, and you just can't afford that. When you're just having a little bit of a shocker from the field like Bendigo are tonight, you've got to look after the ball. It just makes it that double whammy for you. So Look, they'll be really frustrated with their performance so far, but it is really important with the fact that they've now got another game to back this one up in Perth in a few days' time. It is so important that they just stay really focused on what's been working for them. Overall, this patch has been a great patch for them in the last 3-4 games. If they can string a really good, solid fourth quarter together and then focus on taking that momentum, I don't know that you're going to close this gap, but we have seen more surprising things happen.
Beck Cole really did explode in that third quarter. She is now up to 15 points, and it's good for Beck Cole as well. You know, she's a big team player, a selfless player, but just in the last 4 games, averaged the 7 points at 27% from the field. But tonight, 15 points, going at 56% from the field to go with the 5 assists as well. I know she'll be pleased to be back amongst the top scorers for the Southside Flyers. Fourth quarter underway. And already the cross court there. Mitchell saying it was off Kelly Wilson's hands. Referee saw it otherwise.
Again, waiting to see her reverse that decision. One day, you just might see it.
They are a humble lot, the referee group, but maybe not that humble to change the decision on this fly.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're just not close enough to see what really happened there.
Lacandro is on the floor for Bendigo. Abby Werung, that is trademark Abby Werung, driving to the rack and finishing with the left hand.
I would really like to see them play more of that action from the mid. Flyers haven't actually guarded that particularly well tonight.
Cole brings Rochi back into the game. Mid-range 2, long-range 2 rather. And Russell fighting for the rebound. In the end, Lacandro underneath the rack. In fact, it was McGoldrick on that occasion.
Yeah, mixing their lineup here, the Spirit.
A 24-point advantage. Lacandro, Davis, Werung.
Another great take there by Abby Werung. Great finish.
Perfect start to this fourth quarter for Abby Werung. Couple of drives to give the Spirit some early momentum. She's up to 7 points.
So we're seeing Kelsey Griffin sitting a fair bit here, and that could just be to put her on ice for that Perth game and travel. And we haven't seen Jackson enter the game in the second half. So hopefully both those players are okay.
Lob pass from Rochi was hoping for Russell, didn't quite come off. And Russell grabbed the ball and stepped out of bounds.
So a bit sloppy there by Flyers.
It'd be interesting to sort of see how this fourth quarter plays out. Southside holding this 22-point advantage. Bendigo knowing they have that trip to Perth up on Saturday night. Russell, perfect defense there.
Great block.
Excellent rejection from Russell. Cole. Russell just trying to stay out of the way. Cole hoping to try and make it assist number 6. Instead it was Abby Werung who came up with the steal. Davis underneath the rack, catches and will head to the line.
So Carly Ernst and Ruth Davis used to be old teammates for the Perth Lynx.
Yes.
So wonder if they're having a nice little catch up while they're out in the low post there. Maybe not right at that moment.
That's the thing about WNBL, and particularly with the amount of player movement we saw during the recent off-season, you sense players are going to be coming up against their old teams and old teammates more and more as we go forward, Larissa.
Absolutely. And once you get, you find, I mean, it's great to see Ruth Davis out here. I remember when she first came here, she just does not get any smaller as the game goes on. I know that she's kind of been a little bit up and down this season, but when she's switched on and when they really go to her and she can finish around the basket, she's a force around the rim.
This time out brought to you by your local Ford dealer, proudly supporting community basketball in Australia. So Davis has the 2 points so far to go with the 3 rebounds. Most of the scoring from Bendigo's perspective has come from the bench tonight. Falling with 15, Werung with 7, Samuels with 7 as well. But we're also seeing Sophia Lacandro again injected into the game at the start of the fourth quarter. Same thing happened against the Adelaide Lightning 1 week ago.
It's great to see Sophia Lacandro out there, Dandenong Rangers Junior. She's had a rotten time off the back of a really solid NBL 1 season with the Waverley Falcons. She's had a rotten time with an injury. So really great to see her out there in the last couple of weeks.
Her second season with Bendigo, played the 8 games last season. So spent some time in the States, in the college system as well, Lacandro.
These free throws for Bendigo. There you go.
Davis hit 4th time lucky for her, but as I mentioned, Bendigo certainly not one of the best teams in the WNBL for free throw percentage.
Good to see Bendigo mixing the D up here. Unless this goes in.
It's a Moz from Larissa.
I'll take that.
She hits the triple from the corner.
You've got to try something though, Ben.
Yeah. Oh, some contact off the ball there. Offensive foul called on Kelly Wilson. You saw that in the foreground of your screen there as Rochi and Kelly Wilson collided. So Flyers will get the ball back in their backcourt. So yeah, it's for both of these teams, it's been a tough couple of weeks. Great games really crammed in to their respective schedules. Southside have played 4 games since the 30th. Same for Bendigo Spirit, 30th of December that is. Ernst with the hook, then the rebound and the points.
Another couple of teammates going hard at it there, and Lacandro and Ernst, Waverley Falcon teammates. Yes. You love to see it. You just know there's just that little bit more rivalry between teammates.
Werung.
Great pass again. Abby is doing, it's a shame, but Abby Werung is doing such a good job coming off that mid-pick and roll.
Cole for Mitchell in rhythm for 3.
It just kills you, doesn't it? You make a nice play and then you're just punished immediately not finding a shooter.
Another 3 ball for Mitchell. In the meantime, a Goldrick underneath the rack, able to lay it in.
Really smart play there, recognising the mismatch under the basket.
Cole, trademark Bet Cole on that occasion, sprinting into the front court, laying it in for 2 to take her tally to 17.
Yes, Bet Cole doing what Bet Cole does best.
Yes. $17 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds for the Flyers captain. Kelly Wilson puts up the 3.
Good to see some Flyers players coming in.
Yep. Sting in this game really has gone out, but Carly Ernst has a look at a 3, and then Cole selflessly gives it back to Ernst, who gets the 2.
Yeah, really pretty play there, Cole to Ernst.
Those two have played a lot of basketball together over the years. In the meantime, turnover at the other end. Southside continuing to put the foot on the throat here. You can't leave Carly Ernst free for 3. They get away with one there, Bendigo. This lead has ballooned out to 31 points. We're halfway through the final quarter. Goldrick drives along the baseline. Ernst is called for the foul, much to the chagrin of Rochi and Ernst. That referee's not going to be turned, I suppose, turning over that call. But maybe it is a bit of a reality check this afternoon, Larissa, for the Bendigo Spirit. Maybe it's a combination as well of fatigue amongst this busy schedule as well, a bit of a different time slot as well for Bendigo. Maybe it is thinking ahead a little bit as well. They have to go to Perth on Saturday night. The Lynx in form, one of those teams fighting for the top 4. There's a lot of factors behind this performance today from the Bendigo Spirit.
Yeah, absolutely, and it will probably be a combination of a few of those things, but I think the biggest thing is that the Flyers undoubtedly had to come out today and make a statement. They've had a disappointing last few games. We all know how good they can be, and I think for the better part of today, they really have shown that.
Ernst still eyeing more points. Rochi for Ernst. 5 to shoot. Works her way inside. Excellent left-hand finish from Carly Ernst.
How's that for a 6-5?
Yeah.
Huh? I mean, that was a great move.
And like 5-6 seasons ago, I probably would have seen Carly Ernst probably go back and put up the 3 then, but just the extra patience. Then she blocks it at the other end. The extra patience, Larissa, to find a way on the inside and score the 2. Just from my novice's point of view, that's the development I see in Carly Ernst.
Absolutely. Look, she's experienced, and you can just tell she's playing really relaxed. She's a mum now. She's a beautiful mum to her beautiful little boy, Kylan. And you can just tell she's playing to enjoy it, and she's using her experience out there. She's very poised, very calm, playing like she's got nothing to prove, and the results are showing it.
She's suddenly gone out to 15 points to go with 5 rebounds and 2 blocks. She takes a seat, though. And we see Lou Brown, Potch and Dallas Luffridge all on the floor now, along with Jasmine Dickey.
Great to see these girls come out on floor. Dallas Luffridge for her first minutes, another very exciting young talent coming through.
Big raps on Dallas Luffridge. Such a shame that she missed last season due to that ACL rupture. Just being eased, you sense, sort of back into WNBL on-court time. Dickey driving aggressively and able to draw the contact. But we saw the Opal squad earlier with Izzy Borlase at 19 years of age. She'll be going to Brazil in a couple of weeks' time. Jade Melbourne at 21 years of age. Steph Reed having another crack. It's an exciting time for guards in Australian basketball at the moment, Larissa.
It really is, and I think we've got a really nice mix of experience and youth, which is what I think we've really needed. So very much looking forward to seeing that group and how they go, and it's a really important tournament for Australia.
It is. Essentially, Australia, they play 3 games, and the Opals have to finish 3rd in their pool to ensure that they qualify for Paris 2024 there. Ranked 3rd in the FIBA rankings at the moment, so already in a pretty comfy position, but need to tick the box and perform well. That's McKenna Dale putting that shot up there. She's having a run on the floor. In fact, it's Tamilo, sorry, number 2. Change of jersey for Tamilo. She's on the floor. Southside through Dickey. In and out. That looked good off the hand. Tamilo brings down the rebound for the Bendigo Spirit. So both teams having a good look at their benches now, and they're going to have some good court time here as well. Micah Simpson, the number 32 there for Bendigo. Teams will have a good look at their bench players, and particularly their development players. Yeah, we see Clara Wisher on the floor as well. Her first minute since December 23. Clara Wisher for the Southside Flyers. Samuels for 3. Boom.
Yeah, great look. That's what she does best.
Another game, another 10-point game for Casey Samuels. She's giving some terrific minutes for the Spirit this year. Potch for Dickey. Looked right off the hand. And a long rebound here for Simpson. Just her 6th WNBL game, and the triple drops.
Big 3 by Lacandre there. She loves a 3 ball.
And she hit a couple against Adelaide in the last quarter a week ago. And she had some good minutes in that game as well. Clara Wisher and Samuels colliding there. Samuels is favouring her neck. It's an offensive foul has been called. Yeah, Casey Samuels last week playing game number 150, and you sense she's almost in career best form at the moment. She's been in this competition for a long time, putting up terrific numbers. Here she is calling for the screen from Tamilo. There's the pick and roll. Tamilo keeps on top of it, but can't get the 2. And Dickey brings it away. Luffridge, Wisher with 10 to shoot here for the Flyers. Holding a commanding lead. Excellent basketball on offense from Southside. Potch gets the 2.
Beautiful team play there by the Flyers.
Potch up to 6 points, 2 of 6 from the field. She's played good minutes off the bench again. Simpson Works her way inside to Milo. Had it ripped away from her by Brown. Dickey and Samuels collide. It's Dean the Bendigo ball.
It's just great to see these girls out here, like both teams, really fighting this out. And I know that that goes without saying that they should do that, particularly, I mean, at any level, but particularly WNBL level. But you can just see the talent in both teams, and this is a chance for some of these players to come out and show that.
I remember doing a game with Tessa Lavey a little earlier on this season, Larissa, where we had this situation. She said from a player's perspective, it is so good coming to the bench when you're a starter and seeing some of these players get some really good court time. It's a really exciting time for the team.
Absolutely it is, because from 1 through to 12, 15, every single one of them work their little butts off.
Yep.
Like, it's no different no matter what position in the team you are. So it is so nice to be able to get behind your younger players and see them rewarded for their hard work as well.
A lot of them haven't scored previously in the WNBL, and you never forget your first points. Luffridge, what a step inside, but nice hand in there from McGoldrick. She's looked pretty good in her court time. Simpson was hoping for Samuels.
Great
Instead,
hands by Dickey.
Pitched by Dickey. The hardest shot in basketball, but she makes it.
Great play there by Dickey.
5 points for Jasmine Dickey. And the Southside Flyers finishing off this game in style. Brown up high, brings down the rebound. Fisher brings it into the front court. Dallas Luffridge will dribble down towards the end of the game. And the Southside Flyers, after a patchy roller coaster month of basketball, complete one of their most emphatic performances in recent times. Southside 84 defeat the Bendigo Spirit 57. Both ends of the floor, they were dominant over the Bendigo Spirit. The Spirit's top 4 hopes take a blow, and for Southside, with plenty of teams nipping at their heels, Larissa, around the bottom half of that top 4, that's a much needed emphatic win for this star-studded side.
It sure is. That was a huge win by the Flyers. Loved how they came out right from the go. And really, other than that little patch in the second quarter, they were really strong tonight as a unit, which is great to see.
And they were led superbly by Beck Cole. As I mentioned before, Beck's last 4 games just averaged the 7 points at 27% from the field. Well, tonight, 17 points at 60% from the field, 7 assists, 5 rebounds. That's a really strong performance from the captain.
I love how hard she played both ends of the floor, and that's her bread and butter. And a lot of her scores do come from her relentlessness when on defense. So really great to see. And when she's feeling that confident to pull up for a quick 3 like she did on a couple of transition plays, that's the Beck Cole that we all love to watch.
And like Abby Werung, she's an efficient 3-point shooter. Doesn't take a lot of them, but when she does, she normally hits, and it's normally the right shot as well. So we didn't see a lot of Lauren Jackson. We didn't see any of Lauren Jackson in that second half. She's out there. Maybe they were just being consumed.
backs were also a little bit against the wall tonight and they wanted to make a statement. So Bendigo need to just get over that really quickly and know that they know what they're capable of and now go and try and pay it out on Perth.
Really good spread of scoring for the Southside Flyers. Cole with 17, Ernst 15, Rochi 12, and also the 11 points for Leilani Mitchell, who's on screen. Loves her kids, Leilani Mitchell. Mum of 2 now. And she is playing some excellent basketball in the last couple of weeks. Well, the first of a stacked round 12 has been completed. Coming up after us, Sydney and Adelaide. Now match of the round, followed by the Flames and the Caps on Friday night. The double-header is big on Saturday. Townsville and Adelaide, as I mentioned. Then Perth and Bendigo, a really important game. And then the Melbourne Derby on a Sunday at 3 p.m. Really looking forward to that.